what I'm trying to say is that your goals change, and ultimately, when you have a better sense of the area, you're much more comfortable, and that makes your home much more comfortable.
Welcome to Burger Points with your host, Chris Berger, real estate agent and business owner. Okay, in this segment of the Burger Points broadcast, we are going to talk about the neighborhood and exploring it when considering a new home to buy. So Chris, how would you advise first-time home buyers on what to look for in their new neighborhood?
Well, aside from the general location in the area where the home is, take a look around by traveling to your local grocery store. How far is it from the house that you're considering? Or just a group of homes that you're considering? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Because the bottom line is that you're the one who's going to be traveling to the grocery store. You're the one that's going to be traveling to the school. And perhaps even most important, you're the one that's going to be traveling to work. And just make sure that these road trips that you're doing fits in your parameters, or really, just where you're comfortable at, because that will make the ultimate decision of buying your home that much more successful.
Okay, so can you give us maybe a list of things that people can think about? For example, schools, parks, how close the coffee shop is, whether they like to walk to get their muffin and coffee or drive. Is there something that you would suggest people add to a list of things to look for?
Well, many clients that I've dealt with, suddenly when they find a home that's close to the supermarket, say within 2 miles, and I worked with this older couple who found that, and they were so happy about it because what they could do essentially was walk to the grocery store, although they wouldn't buy their groceries at that point, but with the bagel shop right next door, they would get their exercise in and enjoy their coffee at the same time. And that was most important to them. Whereas I've worked with younger couples, and they were more content with driving because what they wanted to do is do their phone calls while they were in the car, make their mental lists of what they had to do for the day, clear their head. So in a sense, that drive was the most important to them. So they needed a 10-minute break away from the house. And again, that's a personal invitation as to what fits your personality.
Okay, and so in terms of work and recreational activities, what would you suggest people add to their list to ask in terms of importance? For example, is it more important to have a short drive to work or to the gym or to the tennis club or golf club? How would you suggest people think about those aspects, recreation as opposed to the work aspect of their lives?
Well, with all of us, all those things are very, very important. And I've often said many times, where you start is not necessarily where you finish. I worked with a couple years back, and they were getting married in a few months. And I said, "Are you interested in 4 bedrooms?" And they said, "Absolutely not." I said, "Well, do you plan on having any children?" "Absolutely not." Well, 3 years later, of course, I still stay in touch with them. The proud parents of a boy and a girl, as well as a puppy. So that expansion made a difference. So I can't emphasize enough that, check out the schools, even if you don't plan to have any children. Check out where the veterinarian is, because I'm sure you're going to consider having a dog at some point. What I'm trying to say is that your goals change. And ultimately, when you have a better sense of the area, you're much more comfortable, and that makes your home much more comfortable.
Okay, these are good points. So it seems like a lot of this has to do with what stage in life you're at, whether it's closer to the beginning, whether you're starting a family, or maybe you're looking at retirement. So maybe that's a good starting point for people to make their list based on at what point in their life they are, and then drill down from there. Does that make sense?
That's totally accurate. Because basically your real estate agent during the interview will ask you these questions. Are there extended members of the family going to live with you? Do you plan on having children? How far is the school that you're comfortable with? How far away is your work? How far away is the commuting? How far away is the train? All these things are important that help a real estate agent come to grips or get a better sense of where you want to be. And I can't emphasize enough that when you communicate with the agent, whether it's via text or email, which most people prefer today. However, I've worked with many, many older couples who just, do it the old-fashioned way and, want to be called. But the bottom line is that the communication, as long as you keep that open, you'll be much more satisfied with the buying process.
Okay. And does it make a difference in terms of how long someone wants to stay at a property? Is that something that's critical to have an idea of before they move in, or does that change what they should look for later on?
Well, sure. What you're speaking about is a time horizon in a sense. And, most people when they do buy a home, typically will stay there anywhere between 3 and 10 years. So I'm going to say on average, again, we're going back to at least 5 to 7 years, which really makes more sense because you're building equity in your home. You're deciding if indeed you want to stay there longer, or there comes a point where you're ready to downsize and you're ready to move on. And, things change every day, especially today in today's market. And that's what we're all challenged with.
You've been listening to Burger Points Broadcast with Chris Burger. To contact Chris, go to burgerpoints.wordpress.com.